Before we start, settle into a position that feels easy and relaxed. Breathe in slowly, hold it for a moment, and let it go without force. For the next little while, give yourself full permission to set down today's worries, the pressure to have every answer, and the urge to control how things turn out. What if the obstacles in front of you aren't obstacles at all, but stepping stones working quietly on your behalf? What if every delay, every detour, every unplanned turn is part of something bigger unfolding behind the scenes? What if, right now, in this exact moment, life is rearranging itself in ways you simply can't see yet? Tonight, on Neville Goddard-inspired, I want to hand you an idea that can change everything. Things are already lining up in your favor. Not eventually, not once circumstances improve, not after you hit some milestone. Right now. The life you live on the outside starts as something accepted on the inside first. Long before any result shows up in the world around you, it's already been accepted somewhere within you. Every real shift begins as a new assumption, a new feeling, a fresh way of looking at who you are and what your life can hold. Change the inner story, and eventually the outer world rearranges itself to match it. As you keep listening, let the doubt loosen its grip. Drop the habit of bracing for things to go wrong. Instead, start opening yourself to a different possibility, that life is actually on your side, quietly steering you towards something bigger than you can picture from where you're standing. Take one more deep breath. Let your body soften, let your mind grow quiet, and let's step together into the state where everything really is working out in your favor. If there's a single truth capable of reshaping your whole life, it's this: everything starts on the inside. Before any situation shows up in your world, before an opportunity knocks, before a relationship shifts, before success becomes something you can point to, something has already happened in consciousness first. The outer world isn't where things begin, it's simply where they show up. The real cause always lives within. Most people spend their entire lives chasing changes on the outside while completely overlooking the inner states quietly producing those very outcomes. They fixate on appearances, react to whatever's in front of them, and wait for the world to hand them a reason to finally feel good. But real lasting change happens when you flip that order and start shifting yourself from the inside out first. Notice how easily people let their surroundings dictate their mood, their confidence, their expectations for what's coming next. When life is going smoothly, they feel hopeful. When trouble shows up, they deflate. Their inner world rises and falls purely based on outside events. But living this way hands all the power away. It leaves your sense of peace and emotional steadiness completely dependent on conditions you don't control. The instant you recognize that your inner world is actually the true source of everything you experience, you start taking that power back. You stop merely reacting to life and start actively shaping it. Your thoughts, your assumptions, your beliefs, your feelings, these are the real foundation beneath the reality you're living. Whether you notice it or not, you're constantly filtering life through your current inner state. Put two people in the exact same situation, and you'll often get two totally different experiences, simply because they're operating from different inner assumptions. One person spots an opening, the other sees a wall. One finds possibility, the other finds failure. The circumstance itself isn't what's different, it's the state of mind looking at it. This is exactly why shifting your inner world matters so much. Keep carrying around assumptions rooted in lack, fear, doubt, or feeling unworthy, and those assumptions start coloring everything: how you see things, how you act. You end up bracing for disappointment, spotting every obstacle, and unknowingly reinforcing your own limits. Over time, it can feel like those expectations were right all along. But start planting assumptions built on abundance, self-trust, and possibility instead, and your entire relationship with life begins to shift. Different opportunities catch your eye. You respond to setbacks differently. Doors that once felt permanently closed start to feel reachable. The outside world can seem so solid and convincing that people assume it's the cause behind how they feel. They tell themselves, "I'll feel confident once I succeed," or "I'll feel secure once I have more money." But that mindset keeps fulfillment forever just out of reach, because it parks the feeling you actually want somewhere in the future instead of letting you claim it now. Real change starts the moment you understand the feeling has to come first. The state you're living in internally is what eventually shapes what shows up externally. Picture standing in front of a mirror. If you don't like what's reflected back, you wouldn't try adjusting the glass. You'd change the person standing there. Life works the same way. The world often mirrors back your dominant inner assumptions and beliefs. Want a different reflection? The most effective starting point is always within. Shift the state, and the reflection starts shifting right along with it. This kind of understanding does ask something of you, real responsibility. But it also hands you enormous freedom. It means your future isn't a hostage to outside conditions, other people's choices, or random chance. It means no matter where you're standing today, you're fully capable of cultivating a different inner state starting right now. You get to choose new assumptions. You get to build new beliefs. You get to form a new relationship with yourself and with your life. None of this happens overnight. Old patterns can try to creep back in, and circumstances may keep echoing your previous assumptions for a while. But every single time you choose a new inner state, you're quietly planting seeds for a different future. Every thought that aligns with possibility reinforces a new direction. Every moment of confidence, gratitude, and fulfillment adds weight to an experience that's still on its way to you. So as you move through this meditation and through the rest of your life, hold on to this simple but powerful truth. Everything begins within. The life you want isn't built by wrestling external circumstances into place. It's built by changing the assumptions you carry about yourself and your reality. Shift your inner world, and your outer world eventually has no choice but to catch up and reflect it back to you. The cause always lives inside. The effect simply shows up outside. And every meaningful change begins the instant you decide to build it from within first. One of the most powerful shifts available to you is choosing to assume that everything is already lining up in your favor. Most people move through their days bracing for problems, rehearsing disappointment, and worrying about outcomes that haven't even happened yet. They pour valuable energy into imagining what might go wrong, replaying fears on a loop, and treating temporary situations as if they're permanent truths. Over time, this habit of expecting trouble becomes so automatic that they stop even questioning it. But what if you picked a different assumption instead? What if you started each morning with a quiet, steady confidence that life is on your side, guiding you toward your highest good? Your assumptions carry far more weight than most people realize. They shape how you interpret what happens to you, how you respond when things get hard, and which possibilities you even let yourself notice. Assume life is a struggle, and you'll naturally zero in on obstacles. Assume opportunities are rare, and you'll miss the ones sitting right in front of you. Assume things rarely work out, and every setback will feel like proof you were right all along. But adopt the assumption that everything is already working in your favor, and you start seeing life through a completely different lens. Challenges turn into growth, delays turn into preparation, sudden changes turn into redirection towards something better. This doesn't mean every moment suddenly feels perfect, or that difficulty vanishes overnight. Life will still test your patience and your faith. What changes is how you read those moments. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "How could this be working for me?" Instead of assuming the worst, you stay open to good outcomes you simply can't see yet. That shift in perspective creates a kind of peace that constant worrying and controlling could never give you. Think about how much energy people burn trying to predict every possible problem before it happens. They analyze the same situation over and over, hunting for certainty before they'll even act. They convince themselves that worrying will somehow shield them from disappointment. But worry almost never changes the outcome. What it does do is drain your energy, chip away at your confidence, and keep your focus locked onto exactly what you don't want. Assuming everything is working in your favor does the opposite. It frees your mind from unnecessary fear and lets you move through life with real trust. Once you genuinely embrace this assumption, you stop needing instant proof to feel okay. You no longer need every piece to be perfectly in place before you'll believe things are getting better. Instead, you build an inner knowing that the process is already moving, even while the results stay invisible for now. You start to understand that some of the biggest shifts happen quietly, behind the scenes. Opportunities being prepared, connections being formed, solutions taking shape, long before you ever see proof of it. There's something genuinely empowering about choosing faith over fear. Fear zeroes in on what could go wrong. Faith zeroes in on what could go right. Fear dreams up limitation. Faith dreams up possibility. Fear shrinks your world. Faith stretches it wide open. Assuming everything is working out for you isn't naive optimism. It's a deliberate choice to point your attention toward possibility instead of limitation. It's recognizing that your expectations shape your experience. Picture waking up and instantly assuming something good is headed your way. Picture moving through your day expecting favorable outcomes, meaningful opportunities, welcome surprises. Picture meeting challenges with the belief that they're temporary and ultimately pushing you somewhere better. None of this makes you passive. It makes you resilient. It lets you stay steady even when things look uncertain, because your confidence is coming from inside you, not from outside conditions. The more you practice this assumption, the more natural it becomes. What once took deliberate effort slowly turns into your default way of seeing the world. You stop bracing for letdowns. You stop assuming things have to be hard. You start trusting that life can support you in ways you haven't even imagined yet. And as that assumption settles in deep, it starts shaping your decisions, your actions, your emotions, your entire experience. So choose today to pick up a new assumption. Let it settle into a quiet certainty you carry with you everywhere. Whatever shows up in front of you, remind yourself there's likely more happening than you can currently see. Trust that every step is heading somewhere meaningful. Trust that every experience holds value. Trust that life is capable of arranging things in ways beyond what you can currently understand. And above everything, assume that things are already working out for you. The more consistently you hold on to that belief, the more naturally your world starts reflecting it back. One of the most overlooked keys to real transformation is the relief that shows up once you stop treating your desire as something far away or uncertain. Most people spend their whole lives emotionally tangled up in the act of wanting. They dwell on what they lack, fixate on what hasn't happened yet, and endlessly wonder when it will finally arrive. In doing that, they stay tethered to the feeling of waiting instead of the feeling of already having. But something powerful shifts the moment you stop living from, "I want this," and start living from, "This is already mine." That shift brings a sense of relief, peace, and certainty capable of transforming your entire experience. Think about how you'd feel if the thing you wanted most had already happened. The goal already reached, the relationship already mended, the opportunity already here, the abundance already arrived. What would you actually feel? Probably not desperation or anxiety, probably relief. The struggle would be finished, the uncertainty would lift, the endless questioning would finally stop. You'd feel calm, because the outcome would no longer be up in the air. That feeling of relief matters enormously, because it pulls you into alignment with the very reality you're hoping to experience. A lot of people believe they have to wait for something to happen before they're allowed to feel relieved, that peace only comes after the result shows up. But it's usually the reverse. The feeling has to come first. Once you learn how to step into the emotional state of fulfillment before you have any physical proof, you start changing your entire relationship with reality. Instead of chasing an outcome, you start embodying the version of you who already has it. This doesn't mean going passive or dropping responsibility. It doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. What it actually means is taking inspired action whenever it feels right, while staying open to possibilities that go beyond what you currently understand. It means doing what's in front of you today without demanding tomorrow follow some rigid script. It means leaving room for surprises, openings, and solutions your conscious mind could never have engineered on its own. Once you release the need to control the how, you make space for bigger possibilities to show up. You stop shutting doors on opportunities just because they don't match what you were expecting. You become far more receptive to guidance, intuition, and breakthroughs you never saw coming. Instead of constantly asking, "How is this going to happen?" you start asking, "What if it's already unfolding in ways I simply can't see yet?" There's real freedom in that shift. You no longer carry the weight of having to solve every problem immediately. You no longer feel like it's your job to orchestrate every last detail of your future. You let yourself trust that life can connect the dots better than your limited view sometimes can. So hold your vision firmly, but loosen your grip on the method. Focus on where you're headed instead of obsessing over the exact route. Trust that opportunities are appearing, connections are forming, and solutions are developing even while they stay invisible to you. The moment you stop demanding to know precisely how everything will unfold is often the exact moment you open yourself to possibilities bigger than anything you could have planned. Let go of needing to control the how, and let life surprise you with what's actually possible. One of the most important pieces of any real transformation is persistence. Anyone can feel inspired for a day. Anyone can believe when circumstances are cooperating. Anyone can stay positive when everything's going according to plan. The real test shows up when results haven't appeared yet, when challenges hit, and when circumstances seem to argue against the very reality you're trying to create. It's in those moments that persistence becomes the line between a passing wish and a genuine, lasting shift. Persisting in the assumption of success means staying loyal to the reality you've chosen, no matter what temporary appearances suggest. Most people give up on their vision far too soon. They start out excited and confident, but once immediate proof fails to show up, doubt starts creeping in quietly. They begin second-guessing whether they're even on the right track. They wonder if what they want is realistic. Delays and setbacks wear down their resolve. Eventually, plenty of people slide back into old thought patterns simply because those patterns feel familiar. And yet, every meaningful achievement demands a stretch of faith before there's any visible proof. Whether or not you can hold steady through that stretch is often what separates real transformation from staying stuck in the same loop. Picture someone planting a seed. They don't expect a full-grown tree to appear overnight. They understand growth takes time. They trust the process even though there's nothing visible above the soil yet. They keep watering it because they believe something is happening underground, out of sight. The same idea applies to your assumptions. Every time you come back to the feeling of success, abundance, love, or fulfillment, you're tending a seed within your own consciousness. You might not see results right away, but that doesn't mean nothing's happening. Change usually starts invisibly, long before it becomes something you can point to. Persistence doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel upbeat every single moment of every single day. It doesn't mean pretending your challenges aren't real. What it actually means is returning, again and again, to the assumption you've chosen whenever doubt creeps back in. There will be moments fear tries to take the wheel again. There will be situations that tempt you into believing nothing is actually changing. The key isn't avoiding those moments, it's responding to them differently. Instead of letting them redefine your reality, treat them as a chance to reinforce your commitment to your own vision. A lot of people mistakenly think success comes from occasional flashes of belief. In reality, it's usually the result of consistent inner alignment. One positive thought might inspire you for a moment, but a sustained assumption has the power to reshape your entire life. What you keep accepting as true eventually starts to feel natural. What feels natural starts influencing your behavior, your decisions, your expectations, your experiences. That's exactly why persistence carries so much weight. Every time you return to the state you want, you deepen your identification with it. Think about someone who wants abundance, but keeps flip-flopping between confidence and fear. One day they feel hopeful, the next they're bracing for failure. One moment they trust the process, the next they assume nothing's going to work out. That back and forth creates internal conflict. The mind gets mixed signals, and progress starts to feel shaky. Now compare that to someone who consistently comes back to the assumption of success. Even when challenges show up, they keep believing in a good outcome. Even when things get delayed, they stay confident that movement is happening quietly behind the scenes. Their persistence builds stability, and that stability becomes a genuinely powerful force. Another key piece of persistence is understanding that a temporary setback doesn't decide the final outcome. Every successful person has run into obstacles. Every meaningful goal has gone through stretches of uncertainty. But the people who ultimately get there are usually the ones who refuse to let a temporary circumstance dictate their expectations. They see challenges as part of the road, not proof they've failed. They keep moving because they're committed to the destination, not distracted by every detour along the way. Persistence also builds real inner strength. Every time you choose faith over fear, you get a little more resilient. Every time you return to your vision, despite what appearances suggest, your confidence deepens. You stop needing outside validation because your certainty starts coming from inside you. You stop needing constant reassurance because you've learned to trust the assumption you've chosen. So as you keep moving through this journey, remember, the real power isn't just in choosing a new reality, it's in staying loyal to it. Keep returning to the feeling of success. Keep returning to the belief that everything is working out in your favor. Refuse to let temporary appearances talk you out of what you already know is possible. Stay persistent in the assumption of success. Hold your vision steady, trust the process fully, and understand that every moment of faith, every moment of confidence, every moment of persistence is quietly shaping the reality you're becoming. Results won't always show up instantly, but what you consistently assume and faithfully hold on to has a remarkable way of eventually becoming real. As we close out this meditation, take this feeling with you. Don't leave it behind here. Let it weave into your everyday life. Let it shape how you think, how you speak, and how you respond to whatever happens around you. Remember, you don't have to force life to unfold. You don't have to struggle to make every piece fit together. There's a wisdom moving beneath the surface, beyond what you can currently see. There are opportunities being prepared, doors quietly opening, circumstances arranging themselves in ways your conscious mind may never fully grasp. Your job isn't to control every detail. Your job is to stay faithful to the feeling that everything is working out in your favor. Even when the path feels unclear, even when nothing's visible yet, even when doubt tries to sneak back in, keep returning to the feeling of certainty. Keep returning to gratitude. Keep returning to the knowing that the reality you want is already taking shape. The more naturally you accept this assumption, the more naturally life starts reflecting it back. What you consistently believe, feel, and expect eventually becomes what you live. So leave this meditation with a calm heart, a clear mind, and a fresh sense of confidence. Trust the process, trust the unfolding, trust yourself. Everything is working out in your favor. Every step is moving you forward. Every moment is bringing you closer to the life you've already accepted within. And so it is. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Neville Voice. If this meditation gave you a little peace, clarity, or encouragement, take a moment to support the channel. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. I'd genuinely love to hear from you too. Down in the comments, write, "Everything is working out in my favor." Let those words become more than just a comment. Let them become an assumption you carry with you through the rest of your day. Thank you for your time, your presence, and your trust. May you keep moving forward with confidence, expectation, and inner peace. Until next time, remember, life is responding to the story you keep telling yourself. Choose a story that actually serves you, believe in it fully, and watch how your world begins to transform.